Deadly discovery in Hallandale Beach where a body was found this morning. Investigators suspect foul play.
This is the home where that man was found, but there are still a lot of questions left to be answered here. Namely, why did this happen and where was this man killed?
How is it going, team? Welcome back to the page. Today, we are exploring some heavy claims that just surfaced in legal files. And this one is going to change everything you thought you understood about trust in the rap world. We are discussing new proof that reportedly proves Kodak Black spent $20,000 to have his own artist, Wiz the Wizard, taken out. And guys, this is not just street gossip anymore. This is official court paperwork with evidence. Before we dive into this serious subject, make sure you press that subscribe button and toggle notifications, because we are about to analyze one of the most jarring betrayals in hip-hop lore. And man, this narrative gets dark very fast. So viewer guidance is suggested. Let me begin by telling you about Wiz the Wizard, real name Wisdom Williams. This was not just some random guy from the streets. Wiz was Kodak's childhood brother, someone he had known for over 10 years. They first connected when they were both held in juvenile hall, and from that day on, it was meant to be all respect.
Yeah, Kodak in the juvenile detention center a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Shit, we linked from right there, shit. It been all love ever since.
Wiz grew up in the same Broward County neighborhoods as Kodak, mainly around Hallandale Beach and the Golden Acres housing projects. But unlike Kodak, Wiz was deep in the struggle from day one. By 17, this guy was allegedly leading a set of over 100 soldiers who were raiding houses all across Broward County. We are talking about broad daylight home robberies, where they would literally stay in people's driveways while they stripped out their homes. That is some high-level boldness right there. But the streets took their price on Wiz early. In 2016, his big brother Wajib was gunned down in Hallandale Beach while attempting to flee an attack. That loss broke Wiz and dragged him even deeper into street business. The agony from losing his brother would follow him for the rest of his brief life. When Kodak started getting famous, he remembered his friend from juvie and brought Wiz into the circle. Around 2018 to 2019, Kodak officially signed Wiz the Wizard to Sniper Gang. On the surface, this seemed like a great narrative, childhood friends escaping the hood together. But according to Wiz himself, the agreement was garbage from the start. Wiz later admitted he only got signed for $30,000, and he did not even realize that is what he was signing for.
I knew I signed for $30,000. The whole time I signed for $30,000, I ain't even know.
That is pocket change for someone of Kodak's level, especially when you are bringing in your day one brother. But the disrespect did not end there. As Wiz started creating his fame and earning millions of plays, he noticed he was getting cheated.
Yeah, bro, like, that's my nigga though, man. It ain't no crazy shit, man. Like I said, if it was that deep with a fault, it ain't no crazy shit. It's just, you know, at the end of the day, business is business.
The deal had him trapped with awful terms, and when he tried to discuss it with Kodak, things turned ugly very fast. Wiz went public, claiming he had $100,000 cash, ready to buy himself out of the deal. But Kodak had ignored his calls and texts. The drama grew on social media with Kodak calling Wiz police and blaming him for seeking fame online instead of managing business correctly. But Wiz argued there was no real grudge, just business problems that needed to be fixed. The shocking court files.
They discovered in Hallandale Beach where a body was found this morning. Investigators suspect foul play.
This is the home where that man was found, but there are still a lot of questions left to be answered here. Namely, why did this happen and where was this man killed?
Now, here is where things get totally crazy. And this is where the new legal files come in. In August 2024, a man named Sigmund Brown, also known as Liberia Sig, was charged on several murder counts, including the passing of Wiz the Wizard. But hidden in his defense request to get bail, there is a sentence that is going to shock you. The files state, on August 3, 2021, Liberia Sig's phone talked with Denzel Senon via Telegram, stating Kodak Black offered the Grand Mafia $20,000 for the killing of Wisdom Williams. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Legal documents are claiming that Kodak Black placed a $20,000 price on his own artist's life. This is not some blog gossip or street talk. This is official legal paperwork entered in Broward County Court. Now, Sig's attorney tried to ignore this, saying even if it is true, it does not show his client was ever paid for the killing. But here is the thing, if they probe Kodak, even if no cash was actually given, that is still conspiracy to commit murder just for suggesting the bounty. That is a major federal charge that could put Yak Kodak away for decades. So, what could lead Kodak to reportedly order a hit on his own childhood brother? The reason seems to be a mix of business feuds and street dynamics. Wiz was becoming more vocal about his deal problems and was trying to exit Sniper Gang. For someone like Kodak, who crafted his image on trust and keeping his team close, having one of his own artists publicly vent their business issues was likely viewed as the ultimate insult. But there might be more to it. Wiz was still active in the streets even after getting signed. In 2020, a main witness named Denzel Williams, who was meant to speak against Wiz in an attempted murder trial, was killed before he could reach court. That helped Wiz beat the charge. but it also placed more focus on him and anyone linked with him. Some people believe Kodak might have viewed Wiz as a danger, someone whose street deeds could bring bad focus to the sniper gang name. When you are earning millions in the music world, having an artist who is still reportedly tied to shootings and street drama becomes a problem. But here is where this narrative gets even wilder. Kodak basically confessed to having Wiz killed in his own tracks. And I am not talking about subtle shots or hidden codes. This guy straight up admitted in several songs. First, let's discuss the track I Wish, where Kodak says, I had argued with Wiz. You did what you did, so I did what I did. That line right there is essentially him saying Wiz hurt him, so he reacted. In the frame of everything else, that is basically a confession. But it gets even more obvious on the song Silent Hill with Kendrick Lamar, where Kodak says, I'm the type to get my shooter whacked. Consider that line for a moment. He is literally stating he is the kind of person who would have someone murdered and then killed the shooter to hide his tracks. That is exactly what reportedly happened to CJ, the guy who allegedly shot Wiz. Then on his Back for Everything project, Kodak had the nerve to mock his dead friend, rapping Double M Gang, but I ain't talking Rick Ross. Double M Gang? I took that from Wiz. Rest in peace, my expletive. But it's his fault. The way you let them kill you like a kid? That is some cold-blooded talk right there. He is basically saying Wiz earned his end and that it was his own mistake for how he lived. That is not how you discuss a childhood brother who was killed, unless you had a part in it. According to the streets and the proof that has surfaced, here is how the attack reportedly went down. Wiz thought he was fine with a guy named CJ, but CJ had apparently been paid to betray him. On September 17, 2021, CJ allegedly shot Wiz in the back of the skull and then left his body in the front yard of a home in Hallandale Beach, the same area where Wiz was raised and where his brother was killed years before. The meaning of that spot was not missed by anyone. Dumping Wiz's body in his childhood area was sending a signal. It was saying, this is what occurs when you betray the family. But here is where Kodak's alleged cruelty really appears. According to street insiders, CJ did not live long enough to spend whatever cash he was given. In March 2023, CJ was discovered dead inside a torched car. The vehicle was totally covered in fire, and his body was burned beyond identification. After CJ's passing, Wiz's cousin Wham wrote on social media saying, "Play with Wiz," and got set on fire. Couple more of you going to get the same deal. This fits perfectly with Kodak's line about being the type to get my shooter whacked. He reportedly had Wiz killed, then had the killer removed to close the case. That is some serious criminal leader behavior. The violence did not end with Wiz and CJ in August 2024. Another member of the first crew, Wham, was gunned down in Hallandale Beach. Wham was Wiz's cousin and had been vocal about seeking payback for his death. His killing proves that this feud is still active and people are still dying over it. If you look back at that first Righteous Reapers music video with Kodak, Wiz, Wham, and Psycho Bob, it is like watching a hit list. Psycho Bob is in federal jail, Wiz is dead, Wham is dead, and Kodak is the only one still standing. That is not a fluke. What makes this entire situation even more gross is how Kodak acted the part of the sad friend after Wiz passed. The day after the killing, Kodak was at a charity show talking about losing a close brother of 10 years and how tough it is to handle loss.
Stuff like this allow me to like be a little peaceful for, speaking and stuff like that. The stuff with Jennifer, like it touched me because, my beautiful girlfriend, she's expecting my daughter soon in a few months. So I put myself like, man, that's crazy. Like that could be anybody. And I just lost a friend, very close friend for we've been friends for over 10 years. I just lost him yesterday. He got a beautiful baby girl too. So it's it's crazy. Dealing with losing loved ones and stuff like that. It's hard. Like I've been dealing with loss my whole life. My cousin's funeral was just today too. So, it's crazy everybody put up with and deal with stuff like in different ways and all that. At the end of the day, we all we got. This ain't nothing to do with politics or white, black, rich or poor. So we all we got. It's just us to, help each other.
He even wrote on social media trying to end beef with his other artist, Jackboy, saying, "Let's use this as a warning. Things get very crazy very fast out here without notice." Some people viewed that as Kodak seeking peace, but knowing what we understand now, it sounds more like a warning. Currently, Sigmund Brown and his team are facing the death penalty for several murders, including Wiz's passing. The fact that Kodak's name is in these legal files means the feds are certainly watching it. Even if he did not pull the trigger personally, conspiracy to commit murder carries the same costs as actually doing the killing. The streets of Broward County are gossiping, and more proof could surface at any moment. Kodak might think he is safe because of his fame and cash, but the law does not care about platinum sales when you are discussing murder plots. This entire situation is a perfect case of how fame and money cannot change some people's souls. Kodak Black had everything: fame, wealth, a stage to help his city, But instead of helping his childhood brother, he reportedly had him killed over business feuds and pride. The saddest part is that Wiz never had the chance to reach his full power. He was creating a real buzz and could have been the next star out of Broward County. Instead, his life was ended allegedly by someone he relied on. This narrative is not finished yet, fam. With federal agents involved and more people potentially talking, we might see some major charges coming down soon. Make sure you stay locked to this page because we will be tracking this narrative as it unfolds. What do you all think about these claims? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and do not forget to like and subscribe for more stuff like this. Until next time, stay safe out there and remember, trust is everything. But some people do not grasp what that word truly signifies.